Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing another video on something that I'm really passionate about. It's something that I talk to a lot of my friends about and something that I love reading and watching online. This is conspiracy theories. Now I'm just going to be talking about a few of my favourite ones that I've heard, but there are so many more out there that I'd love to explore. I can kind of look into what conspiracy theories you like because I absolutely love reading about them. So the first conspiracy theory, and now this is one that I have made everyone that I know listen to. This is the conspiracy theory that Elvis Presley is still alive. But this theory I believe it so much. Hands down, I think it's true. So Elvis Presley died in 1977. Obviously a lot of people knew who Elvis was. He's a really famous name and people to this day listen to his music. Now when he died, the reasons were kind of unclear. First of all, they said it was a heart attack, then it was drug overdose, then his brother came forward and said it was a suicide, and then a few years later doctors came forward and said that he'd gone in with constipation and he'd died from that. So a lot of people kind of, looked into his death, and a lot of people think that Elvis actually faked his own death. A lot of people think this because his music wasn't as popular around the time that he died. He didn't really know what he wanted to do with his career. He wasn't as famous as he once was. So a lot of people think that he faked his own death to kind of get away from the Elvis name and to kind of restart. One of the biggest reasons why people think that Elvis is actually still alive is a few years after he died, there was a woman who walked through his old estate where he used to live and took a photo, and when she zoomed into where Elvis used to live, she saw this photo. I mean, to me, that looks like Elvis, but maybe that's because I'm one of those people that will believe anything. This was like way before Photoshop, way before even we had any kind of technology really, any advanced computers or phones. So for that to have been manipulated, it's kind of a bit, couldn't have happened. And for it to have been a coincidence for someone who kind of a lot looks like Elvis to be sat in Elvis's old house a few years after he died, to me is just a bit, it can't be a coincidence. Now, the second reason why people think that Elvis is still alive is because of a singer called Orion. Now, a year after Elvis passed, a singer came out with an album called Orion, and he looks and sounds exactly like Elvis, like scarily exactly like Elvis. But the really creepy thing about it is he's wearing a mask.
You can pass, I wouldn't have time.
See, to me, this one makes complete sense, because if he wanted to restart his own career, go down maybe a different artistic route, maybe away from the label that he was with, he might have, been told to do and sing certain things, and maybe this was just his way of kind of starting over, being a bit under the radar. It just makes complete sense to me. Now, this third reason is the one that kind of just sets it in stone for me, like completely just fits all the pieces together. And this was a few years back. There was a doctor called Dr. Eaton, and he was a psychiatrist, and he came forward and said that one of his patients that he had been seeing had broken down to him and told him that he was Elvis Presley. Now, this could have been someone completely crazy just thinking that they're Elvis, but he was calling himself Jesse, which was Elvis's twin's name, who had died, and his DNA matches both sides of the Presley family. So he had to be a direct link to both Elvis's mum and dad. And to me, he looks exactly like Elvis would look if he was that age. Like, the ages match up perfectly. If he was that age, he would look exactly like that. That's what I think he would look like. Now, supposedly Jesse was supposed to come forward, do this big announcement and say that he actually was Elvis and that Elvis hadn't died. But apparently he got scared and he didn't do it, and it kind of just went back under the radar. So I guess we'll never know if Elvis is alive or not. But to me, Elvis is not dead. Now, this second theory was a theory that I read on Twitter and I looked into and I found out it's actually true. Like, this one was like, I was like, oh, okay, this is a bit creepy. And this is about my favourite ever TV show. Anyone who knows me that I love this TV show, and it's RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, the conspiracy theory that I saw about this was something that I kind of had an inkling about, and it was the fact that nobody actually wins on the live final. So on the live final of the show, they do this big live event where all the drag queens from that season come back and they do this big reunion. They all talk about each other, they all spill, you know, gossip, or as they call it, tea, and then a winner is crowned. But what I read into is the fact that nobody actually wins on that live final, and that they record 3 different endings with each queen winning. Now, I had an inkling about this because there's a YouTuber called Manny MUA, which probably a lot of you have heard of, and he was going to the live final, and whilst doing a makeup tutorial on what he was going to look like for the final, he said that it takes ages to film because they crown 3 different people. And that comment kind of just went over the top of my head, and then I saw it on Twitter, and I did a bit of investigating into this and found out that it's actually true, and that the winners don't actually find out who's won until we do. So when we're watching it live on TV, we're thinking, oh, this was filmed weeks ago. But in actual fact, the winner finds out by watching it on TV too. And this is a clip of season 7's winner, Violet Chachki, actually finding out that she had won.
Is Violet Chachki.
Yes! Yes! This is the weirdest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Now, to me, it's a bit disappointing because I'm such a massive fan of the show and I love it so much. I've watched each episode about 1,000 times. I'm constantly watching RuPaul's Drag Race. And to find out the ending's faked is kind of, you know, it's not nice to hear, but at the same time I completely understand why they do it, because if they've got a massive live theatre full, gonna be scared that someone's gonna, you know, spill to the media who's won before the fans can even find out. So that one I completely understand. Now, the next conspiracy theory is something called the Mandela effect, and this has loads and loads of branches that come off the Mandela effect. Now, it's called the Mandela effect because a lot of people believe that Nelson Mandela died years and years and years and years ago in prison. So the Mandela effect is basically when you think that you remember something and you look back and it's completely wrong. So you think that something's changed in history or in the future that has changed what has actually happened in real life, but your memories are still there of what's actually real. It's really confusing, but I'm sure you'll understand. Now, the first one that I saw is something that I completely remember this. So growing up as a kid, you've seen Mickey Mouse everywhere. I saw Mickey Mouse everywhere. I still see it now everywhere now. And I always remember Mickey Mouse as wearing red shorts and little suspenders. Now, please tell me I'm not the only person who thinks that he has suspenders. Now, looking back at footage of him, there's no suspenders. And to me, I literally am like, because I remember the suspenders, and I know loads of people who do remember the suspenders. There's loads of people online that are like, wait, Mickey Mouse used to wear suspenders, and nobody can find pictures of him with suspenders. There are so many images and clips and videos of Mickey Mouse and there's no suspenders. I'm literally sat here thinking, I must have imagined it, but I can vividly remember, even if someone just goes, think of Mickey Mouse, I'll think of him in my head and he'll be wearing suspenders. So I don't know where they've gone. So the next Mandela effect is a quote that pretty much everyone knows, and it's from Sally Fields when she said at the award ceremony, "You like me, you really like me." Now, this wasn't probably around my time for me to remember, but I know it, and it's even been said on RuPaul's Drag Race during the award ceremony task for the DESPY Awards on season 7. I watched too much Drag Race. And I specifically remember it as that, but apparently it's this.
And I can't deny the fact that you like me right now. You like me.
So I'm just completely mind blown about this one because I don't know how it's changed at all.
This means you like me, you really like me.
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 You like me. You really like me.
You like me, you really like me.
Hi guys, I know this is a really weird way to end a video, but I've just been editing and I accidentally deleted somehow my ending and I cannot find it anywhere. So thank you so much for watching. As you can see, I'm not, you know, looking suitable for filming, but please let me know any conspiracy theories that you want me to look into or cover in another video. Hope to see you on my other videos very soon. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.